We figured today would be a good day to talk to you about all of the questions that we get hammered with about what do you do for school on the road? How do you make sure that your kids get a good education? Is it a curriculum? So we're going to talk about homeschool, road school, unschool, fake school. Stick around. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as we check out the Swinomish and the Three Hats Park. Welcome back to another episode of Dina Gerda Explore the World. Today we are in Canoes, Washington. We're on the Swinomish Tribal Reservation land. And today we're down at what the locals call the Three Hats. It's in memoriam of what the past used to be for the Swinomish tribe. And we figured we'd bring the kids down here, teach them a little bit about what tribal land is, what the Swinomish as people went through in the past.
We're kicking off today's episode at a spot you've probably never heard of, but you'll never forget once you've seen it. We're on the Swinomish Indian Reservation, just across the channel from Canoes, Washington. Those three giant woven hats behind us, that's the Schwadab's Landing, and they're not just art, they're a tribute to the Swinomish people's heritage. The hats are designed to mirror traditional cedar bark hats used in tribal life for generations. It's peaceful, beautiful, and full of meaning. And for us, it's the perfect place to ask, what is road schooling really about? Because, while yes, we've got lesson plans and live classes in the RV, this is where the learning gets good. Culture, connection, curiosity, and maybe a little chaos from Dean and Gertie along the way. Let's go.
Just imagine when you were first here, where the Indians were, they were rolling right here, in the front of your eyes, right there where those shops are. It's so big, it could fit 15 people. They're all paddles, and that used to be their transportation to get from one side of the lake to the other side, where those trees were and over here. It was really cool. And they might have gone clamming to eat, maybe. I don't know, but that might have been a fishing boat too, so that's pretty cool.
Long before highways and RVs, this land was home to the Swinomish people. For thousands of years, they lived, fished, and traveled these waters. And these three pavilion roofs, they honor the woven cedar hats that leaders once wore in ceremony and daily life. But these hats weren't just practical. They were symbols of dignity and identity. By shaping public spaces with these forms, the community is saying, we are still here, and our story still matters. That's the kind of thing our kids just don't get reading in the textbooks. They need to feel it. Ask questions. They wonder aloud. That's road schooling. We talk about sovereignty, what it means for a tribe to govern its own lands. We ask why salmon fishing was so deeply tied to Swinomish survival. And we learn that even a small waterfront park can hold centuries of stories. And yes, Gertie guessed the hats were for a giant tea party, and Dean called them alien landing pads. But by the end, they got it. So often, travel focuses on only what we see, but this stop reminded us to ask, who are we learning from? Every road school day isn't just about hitting the biggest attractions. It's about understanding the heartbeat of the places we visit. This one, it left a mark, and we're better for it.
As we all know, we have a very out-of-the-box kind of lifestyle, and we figured this was a great spot to fill you guys all in on our take on school and education. We love the fact that we can take our travels and supplement the kids' education with information that's local to the areas that we're in.
So Monica and I do have an opportunity to go through all of the curriculum, go through the classwork, and we can kind of pick and choose things that maybe we decide that on a local level we want to try to explore more. This place here that we're at now is a prime example of that. We're in the Swinomish Tribal Reservation, which brings up a ton of cultural and historical questions from the kids on who, what, when, where, and why. And we can't always answer those questions, so it's great for us to be able to get out and explore the area.
Let's clear something up. This isn't school. This museum, this gallery, This amazing little train depot with the ticket window, yeah, it's awesome and we love it, but it's not math class. If you're calling this homeschool just because your kid licked a starfish at the tide pools or read a plaque at a statue, we need to talk. These are supplements. They support real learning. They don't replace it. Dean and Gertie have teachers, real ones. They take real tests. They do writing assignments and show their work in math. We use places like this to connect the dots, not pretend like the dots never existed. So by all means, visit museums, pet the goats, marvel at geology, and call it a field trip. But if you're calling this your full-time curriculum, it's not road schooling. It's vacation with good intentions.
So as Monica and I were trying to decide what we wanted to do as we started this lifelong, life-changing adventure, was to make sure that we ensured that our kids had not only a proper education, but one that's going to allow them to succeed in the future. We went through all of the options: homeschool, road school, unschool. If you're struggling to find something for your kids to give them a proper education, you're not doing your homework.
Educate your kids. It's not something that needs to be on the back burner. It's not something that we should ever say, I'm going to give them enough just in the experience, because there is more that goes into this life than just the experiences. Let's make sure that we're setting the example and raising not only good stewards of this land and good stewards to our community, but people that can lead in the future.
So the one thing that just fires me up more than anything are the parents that claim that they're doing homeschool or road school or unschooling or whatever, but they're really just using the term to not have to deal with their kids' education at all. And that really just burns me more than anything, because they're really doing a disservice to their kids for the future.
The truth is, there's no one size fits all, but if you're raising kids in an RV or planning long-term travel, you've got options, and each one comes with its own pros, cons, and caffeine requirements. First up, unschooling. This is the no curriculum, no structure route. Learning is interest-led, and if your kid wants to learn about jellyfish, great. You dive right in. No lesson plans, no grades, and no deadlines. Some families thrive on that freedom. For others, it's complete chaos in disguise. Next, traditional homeschooling. You buy or piece together your own curriculum, like a Becca, The Good and the Beautiful, or Easy Peasy. You, the parent or the teacher, you grade the work, you set the pace, and if you like control, this might be your jam. But it's also a full-time job. Then there's what we do. Virtual public school. Dean and Gertie are enrolled in South Carolina Connections Academy, which is a part of the Pearson's National Network. It's accredited, led by certified teachers, and for some, tuition-free. We follow a calendar, there are daily lessons with live classes, and the kids take real tests. We get to travel, and they still get structure. Want to try something in between, perhaps? Hybrid or online private schools like Time for Learning, Bridgeway Academy, or Oak Meadow offer flexible pacing, but also include teacher support and transcripts. Great for families who want the benefits of homeschooling, but without having to wing it all. And finally, there's no school at all. And we're not talking about unschooling here. This is where we're on vacation and calling it education. Spoiler alert, reading a plaque once a week, it doesn't count. The point is, there are tons of options. Some are super hands-on, and some let you lean back and let the teachers take the wheel. What matters is finding the right one that fits your family and your lifestyle.
So Jeff and I chose South Carolina Connections Academy as our road school program for the kids. It provides the curriculum of math, science, history, language, and handwriting, PE, all of that, and allows us to have the teachers teach, and we're the coaches. So Jeff and I are not teachers, and we didn't feel confident enough coming up with the curriculum and teaching the kids a good, well-rounded education on our own. We didn't want to go through this process and then have our kids come out the other side and not be able to live their lives to the best of their abilities. We feel that Pearson's and South Carolina Connections Academy is going to allow the kids to have the tools to be successful adults. We didn't want to have a situation where our decisions now impacted the kids negatively later. Now, that's not to say that some of our decisions aren't questionable, but we're doing the best we can, and at least we're giving them an education that will carry them through to their adult life and allow them to enter the world with a diploma and the ability to go on to college if they see fit. So that's one of the reasons why, or those are the reasons why Jeff and I decided that this was a good path for our kids, and I stand by our decision.
So one of the big things people ask me a lot on the road is it hard to socialize with people? And it's actually not really. That's why I'm here to tell you that it's not really hard, because I have friends on the road from last year, this year, the last couple of months ago. I have so many. There's some in Colorado right now. There's some in Africa, I think. There's like so many friends. I lost count at this point. I spend my time usually at the playground, meeting new friends, at the camper, playing with Legos, and then I just meet friends. Like I go down to the playground, I say hi to a person, and they say hi, and then we play. It's not hard to socialize if you actually get a chance to on the road, so.
Ah, yes, the classic. But how do your kids socialize line? Listen, our kids have friends in nearly every state, and they can strike up a conversation with a 6-year-old or a 60-year-old. They make new friends at every campground. They keep in touch with all of their friends on Kids Messenger, and they know how to actually look someone in the eye and talk. Socialization isn't about sitting in the same classroom for 8 hours. It's about communication, confidence, and connection. And if anything, RV life has made them more social than most. Spoiler alert, our kids aren't the awkward ones.
So hopefully this answered a lot of the questions, because Lord knows those are the questions that we get asked a lot, and those are the comments that people leave for us, basically wanting to make sure that we are being responsible parents. And it's always nice to be able to dispel those rumors. The kids were something that were a driving force behind this decision, and it's definitely something that we will always continue to put in the front of every discussion and decision about where we go and why we do what we do. And for those out there that are thinking of doing this and or are doing this life and are looking to make a change, you don't have to be alone in this. You can use the networks in the school systems. You can use the school as a tool to help you educate your kids. I hope that you enjoyed our journey. I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, like, subscribe, and be a part of our experiences and our journey. You can join us on Patreon and help us afford to do all of the fun things. Dean, what else can people do?
Well, get me a girlfriend first of all, and never stop exploring, and never stop dancing. I'm perfect. I'm perfect. I'm perfect. Perfect. I'm perfect.
Hey y'all, thanks again for tuning in, tuning out, subscribing, all that fun stuff, watching us homeschool, road school, unschool, no school, not. Peace y'all.